Hello, how is everyone today? Hope you've all had a really good weekend. Some people have been saying that my voice is quite quiet on the videos, so I've turned the volume right up on the iPad and I'll try and speak a bit louder. It might be that I need a microphone. Oh dear, don't know how I'll cope with that. Now, the book that I'm going to show you today is really for probably year 4 upwards. In fact, probably definitely year 4 upwards. Some of the pictures in it are a bit creepy. So if you don't like creepy stuff, probably best not look at this video. I'm going to read you. There's only a short bit of writing and then there's lots of pictures. It's called The Mysteries of Harris Burdick, and it's written by someone called Chris Van Allsburg. And if you've heard of something called Jumanji, he wrote that as well. I first saw the drawings in this book a year ago in the home of a man named Peter Venders. Though Mr. Venders is retired now, he once worked for a children's book publisher, choosing the stories and pictures that would be turned into books. 30 years ago, a man called at Peter Venders' office, introducing himself as Harris Burdick. Harris Burdick explained that he had written 14 stories and had drawn many pictures for each one. He brought with him just one drawing from each story to see if Mr. Venders liked his work. Peter Vendors was fascinated by the drawings. He told Burdick he would like to read the stories that went with them as soon as possible. The artist agreed to bring the stories the next morning. He left the 14 drawings with Vendors, but he didn't return the next day, or the day after that. Harris Burdick was never heard from again. Over the years, Vendors tried to find out who Burdick was and what had happened to him, but he discovered nothing. To this day, Harris Burdick remains a complete mystery. His disappearance is not the only mystery left behind. What were the stories that went with these drawings? There are some clues. Burdick had written a title and caption for each picture. When I told Peter Vendors how difficult it was to look at the drawings and their captions without imagining a story, he smiled and left the room. He returned with a dust-covered cardboard box. Inside were dozens of stories, all inspired by the Burdick drawings. They'd been written years ago by Vendors' children and their friends. I spent the rest of my visit reading these stories. They were remarkable, some bizarre, some funny, some downright scary, in the hope that other children will be inspired by them. The Burdick drawings are reproduced here for the first time. Now, before we look at the drawings, I think it would be a lovely thing to do. If you get some spare time at half term, if you want to, that you might want to write a short story. You might want to choose one of these pictures and write a short story and send it to me. And then I will make a book up of them and show some of them after half term. So we're going to see the 14 pictures now. Are you ready? You have to look carefully. Archie Smith, Boy Wonder. A tiny voice asked, "Is this the one?" What is going on there with the lights? The window's open. What else can you see? This one's called Under the Rug. 2 weeks passed and it happened again. What is under that rug? What could be the story that goes with that? Who is that man? Who lives in this house? Where is this house? The next one's called A Strange Day in July. He threw with all his might, but the third stone kept skipping back. Can you imagine that? You know skimming stones. I'm sure loads of you have done skimming stones. Imagine if one kept coming back towards you. Ooh. Missing in Venice. Even with her mighty engines in reverse, the ocean liner was pulled further and further into the canal. So it's trying to get out, but it keeps going towards Venice. I wonder if any of you have been to Venice. I've been to Venice. It's in Italy. It's a very beautiful place, but there's loads of little narrow canals. There's not really any proper streets. They're all waterways, canals. And sometimes the big liners and cruise liners stop there. Not at the moment, obviously. Another place, another time. If there was an answer, he'd find it there. Where are they off to? Looks a bit spooky into the fog, doesn't it? Still going? More pictures. This is one of my favourites. Uninvited guests. His heart was pounding. He was sure he had seen the doorknob turn. What's going on there? There appears to be a skating boot downstairs. The little doorknob turning. Who's in there? I forgot to do my voice louder, didn't I? That was quite quiet. The harp. So it's true, he thought. It's really true. Can you see the harp? And can you see the person there in the background? A few left. Mr. Linden's library. He had warned her about the book. Now it was too late. What's that growing? How far will it grow? When will it stop? What is it? I'm sure some of you are thinking some great story ideas. The 7 chairs. The 5th one ended up in France. So where are they there? A cathedral? Why is the chair flying? Is that a nun on the chair? And who are those 2 chaps? They look like bishops. I love this one as well. The 3rd floor bedroom. It all began when someone left the window open. Can you see something there? If you've got very keen eyes, you can spot something. This is my favourite. Just dessert. She lowered the knife and it grew even brighter. That's a good one for Halloween, isn't it? That's coming up. Captain Tory, he swung his lantern 3 times and slowly the schooner appeared. Now, what's a schooner? A schooner is an old-fashioned sailing boat. So as he swung his lantern, it appeared. Again, like all of these pictures, the questions are, what's happening? Where is it? Who are the people? What has happened? What's going to happen? What does it smell like? What does it feel like for everyone in these pictures? I'm sure you can think of some great short stories. Oscar and Alphonse. She knew it was time to send them back. The caterpillars softly wiggled in her hand, spelling out goodbye. The house on Maple Street. This is the last one. It was a perfect liftoff. So I would love to see some short stories. Just take one of the pictures, write me a short story. I'll put a book together of it. The best ones I'll read out on my YouTube channel. Absolutely. And maybe even there'll be a prize or 2 for ones that I think are truly great. So if you get time during half term, if it's raining, go back, freeze the picture on YouTube so you can really study it, really look at it, and think about those things. What has happened? What's going to happen? Who are the people? What are the emotions? What do people feel like? What's the setting? Why is it happening? All of those kind of questions, and see what you can come up with as a short story. Anyway, after half term, I'd love to see some great stories, and you can send them straight to me. Okay, see you soon.